Good evening. Welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. Kind of a warm day. I'm not going to call it a hot day, 'cause it ain't hot, but it was a warm day today. Hot days come later. We have that phone number up there that you can use if you'd like to call us. There's the number. If you'd like to send us an email, it's keneckleslive at gmail.com. So we'd love to hear from you either by phone or by email during this edition of Star Talk. Somebody wants to know about Real ID. Real ID, of course, is a thing that we've been expecting for all these many, many years, but it won't be long. We'll talk about that in a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
What's going on, Ken?
Well, I'm sitting here in front of the fan. The season has come
Yeah.
to run the fan.
Well, it looked like we picked the winner, didn't we?
Some people did. You did.
You
Uh,
you did too. You picked Cal Lawson too, didn't you?
I did, but I don't get anything for it though. All
Oh,
I
I
get
I
all
know
I
that.
get is the satisfaction of it.
Yeah. Well, it's just fun. That's the only reason I play. It's just fun.
But not only was he a winner, I mean, he absolutely kicked everybody's rear end. I mean, he was
Uh,
so dominant.
where am I at right now?
Well,
This
let
is
me.
you know who I am.
I know exactly who this is. Early Bird, you are number fourth place with 105 points.
Well, that's better than 11.
Well, let's see. First place, Mr. Leaksville and Mr. Draper have 115, so you're 10 points back at 105.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question. How long do eggs last in the refrigerator? Somebody said you could put them in deep water and they'll float to the top if they bad.
You know, I've heard
That
that. I don't know that for a fact, but I've heard it. Early Bird, I don't know how long they last in the refrigerator. I really don't know, but
yeah.
somebody knows. So somebody out there call and tell us how long eggs will safely last in the refrigerator. We'll find out.
Yeah, I like to know because I got two 18 packs, which I'm almost through with 18 pack and starting on the next one. But
Yeah.
I don't, I've been putting them in water deep to see if they float to the top because I don't want to eat no bad egg and get sick.
Well, you'll know when if it's bad, you'll know when you crack it open, I think. Um,
Oh, really?
I believe the smell will alert you when you crack open a bad egg. Um,
Oh, okay, okay.
but I don't know for sure how long they last, but my feeling is they will last long enough for you to work through two 18 packs. I really think they probably
Yeah.
would. And if somebody has better information on that, please let us know.
Yeah, I like boiling them. I like boiled eggs and have English muffin with some of that strawberry jam on it.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds real
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I like to have a cup of coffee and two boiled eggs, and I fix me an English muffin and spread strawberry jam on it, eat with my drink, drink my coffee with while I'm
I
eating it.
wish I had I wish I had some of that. Well, if you're eating two eggs every day, then you'll go through those. I'm pretty sure you'll go through those 18 packs before they spoil.
Well, I don't eat them every day, but I eat them, not every day, but sometimes I eat cereal,
Yeah. Okay. Well, then
and
you'll
some,
probably
but
be all right, but we'll see what we can
yeah.
find out.
But like you said, it might be able to smell. I might be able to tell about the smell, which my sinus ain't all that great anyway.
Well, I'll tell you
But
what.
it,
If
yeah.
anybody who has ever pulled out a rotten egg can tell you that that smell will break through sinus and pretty much break through anything. That's a big
Oh,
time smell.
yeah, yeah. Well, I got to catch up, Mister Drape. That's all I got to do. See, I ain't got nothing. But hey, kid, that's what I was going to ask you. I don't know how to email, but I know how to text.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't on, can I text you and tell you who my driver is if I wanted? To, I mean, if I had to, if I missed your program or something, and it was
Yeah,
last night or something.
you can do that. You can text me. Let's see, what's the best number to text me at? Can you write it down?
No, but I just want to know if I could, in case you know. But I'll get the number from you like tomorrow. Probably. I'll have me a pen and paper right now. I'm
Okay.
just laying here watching you. I don't
Okay.
want to get up right now.
Well, I don't blame you. If I was laying down, I wouldn't get up either. So,
Well, I was up early. I was up early, kid, about 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that.
whoa, why?
I always get up early. I go to bed early and all that, but I like getting up early. I always got up early as soon as I was a kid. I got up early.
So that's why they call you early bird.
Well, I didn't want. Well, just like Mr. Draper said, I ought to have been named the mayor of Draper, but I didn't want to go by that. I didn't want to do that. I just said, well, I like getting up early, so I'm gonna call myself early bird.
Well, that works for me.
Okay, well, I'll let you go so somebody else can call in, but I got to catch Mr. Draper. That's all it is to.
Well, you got time. Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you, Ken. Have a good night.
Bye. Hello, caller. You're on the air, caller. Go ahead, please. Caller is not on the air. How long do eggs last in the refrigerator? Who knows? Somebody will know. If nobody knows, you can find out. Let us know how long eggs will last in the refrigerator before they get smelly. And when they get smelly, they get real smelly. Real ID, someone wanted to know, have they changed the Real ID deadline yet? Because every time they set one, they end up changing it, as we know. But no, they have not changed it, not this time. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken. Glad to see you back.
So you can see us?
Yes, I see you. I had a few words with the owner.
All right. So we're on in Danville then. Evidently, you used the correct words if we're on in Danville.
Yes, I said I would hate to replace him with sarcastic man, but I will. I am his friend and I have his back, but there's so much I can do. But let's get down to business.
All right, let's do that.
Where did I finish?
Well, let me see. Charles from Danville, you had Ross Chastain yesterday. You had the one. And this has landed you in seventh place, tied for seventh place with 101 points. You and Mr. Pelham are in a seventh place tie.
Okay. Well, where are we racing at? Well, we're off this weekend. Where are we going next weekend?
Well, off this weekend, and then I believe it is Talladega. Isn't it Talladega?
Yes, I believe it is. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make my prediction for Talladega.
2 weeks ahead. Okay. Who do you have for Talladega?
I am going. I don't believe I'm going to say this. I should bite my tongue for saying this.
Are you going to do a trumpet? Or is your people going to do some sort of a trumpet fanfare before you say it?
No, they better not. I don't pay them for that.
All right. Okay. Go ahead then.
I'm going with Carl. No, I'm going to go with the 22.
The 22. Charles takes number 22, Joey Logano. It's in the
Yeah. Well, I'm not taking the 11 because he's a crybaby.
book. Okay. Is it some specific crying fit that has annoyed you from him?
He cries too much. He complains too much. I don't like a crybaby.
Well, I mean, I complain a lot. That doesn't bother you?
No, you're a good guy. I don't want to ruffle any feathers with you.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just put that number 22. That's in the book.
Well, okay. And I want everybody to listen to this before I go, sir.
All right.
Eat the 22 dust because he's going to win.
Okay. All right. I don't have room to write that in the book, but I think we can all remember it.
Well, they heard me. They got the message.
Thank you.
I'm being blunt, sir, but bye-bye, sir.
Thank you. A man very direct in his words. Charles from Danville has the 22. Real ID deadline is May the 7th. That is May the 7th of this year, 2025. That is next month. That's the Real ID deadline. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Oh, Ken, this nice guy.
Hey.
Forget it. Put me down for the 11.
Okay.
The next race.
Let me find you. Nice guy has the 11. It's in the book.
Yeah. Where am I at right now? I know.
Let's see. You've got 103 points. That puts you in 5th place, number 5.
Okay. I was way up there when Hamlin won, but I guess Elliott didn't do no good.
Well, you know, not real good. But you're in not bad shape. You're just 12 points behind first place.
Well, that's good. Anyway, you've been getting your papers, hadn't you?
I got today's paper right over there. I'm looking at it. I'm getting them regularly. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, as long as he keeps praying, he misses some days. When you don't get it, when I don't get it, you don't get it.
Oh, well,
So
I understand that. Well, he must be doing pretty well because I haven't seen many days missed.
No, hey, I'm just glad he keeps doing it. He's better than anybody we had before.
Yeah, the last one I had. Well, I don't want to speak ill of anybody. The last one I had wasn't real good.
Yeah. Well, I like the way he brings it about 5 o'clock in the morning too.
And apparently he always wraps it when it's raining.
Oh yeah, he does that.
Because sometimes I'd get them in the rain and they hadn't even been wrapped.
Oh no, he does a good job. I wish I knew who he was. I'd tip him at Christmas time, but they just don't know.
Oh, you don't know who he is?
No, I ain't got a clue.
Okay.
I know. As long as he keeps doing his job, I don't really need to know.
Well, now, when is it they're going to stop home delivery? It's just a couple of months from now, isn't it?
I hadn't heard anything about it.
Oh.
They have not contacted me.
Okay. Well, they made an announcement. A few weeks ago that they'd be switching over to mail delivery, but I don't remember exactly when. I think it's sometime this summer, I believe.
Well, 40 or 50 years ago, that's the way it was. They started out in the mail.
Well, yeah, I guess they did.
Before they had the paper boys. But anyway. Well, look, appreciate you taking my call.
Well, thanks. Good to hear from you. And thanks for the papers. I do appreciate it.
Well, you got your program too, didn't you, on Draper Speedway?
Oh, I got that right here. Yeah. You know what? There's a whole lot interesting in here. One of the most interesting things is the ads. Some of these ads really bring back memories.
Oh yeah.
Like
Bill Wood had one in there for Virginia Avenue. Hillwood dining and dancing on Saturday night.
Yep. I don't even remember that one.
Homer Woods, fine. He remembered it. He said him and his mama had to go up there every Sunday morning and clean the place up.
Well, I bet they did. Well, I'm looking right here at Frank Eggleston Tire Company,
right?
U.S. Royal Tires, and their phone number was 250. That was their phone number.
Yeah.
250.
Back in. That's the way it was.
Boy,
I tell you, I've got the original program that I made copies of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it is in pristine condition too.
Wow.
It's probably worth some money, but I don't know how to get anything out of it.
I don't know. There's probably not many of them around. I expect it's
I
rare.
doubt it, really. Not for 52.
No, that I'm sure that's rare.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me ride. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Phone line is open, and if you want to dial right now, you'll probably get through without any difficulty. You can also email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, this is Joe on Third Avenue. I'd just like to say that the reason I got my inheritance is because one of my teachers told me that I was fat and lazy when it come to school. And when I got my inheritance, which was 2 years ago, I bought me a tread climber. And on top of it, I'm trying to think. I forgot. One girl told me she didn't want to go with me because I didn't have no money. That's another reason why God blessed me with my inheritance. And a third reason, one of the tellers at the bank, Charles went in there and put $600 on my card, and I found that later on she took my money, and God snapped his finger and blessed me with that $68,785 plus that tread climber and whatever else I want. But it's in the Bible, and it says when you take something away from someone, you get it back 10 times. And thanks for taking my call, sir.
Well, thank you, Jerry. Thank you for calling. The phone line is open. There is the number on your screen. The email address is keneckleslive@gmail.com. As I was saying, a real ID deadline is May 7th, next month, and they're not going to change it this time. Of course, as soon as I say that, then they probably just decided to change it. I don't think it's going to be changed this time, but what do I know? Anyway, as of May 7th, you will need real ID if you want to go into, say, a federal courthouse. I think probably any federal building will require real ID. You would need it to enter a military base, and in general, any federal installation. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing tonight, Ken?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. You liking this weather?
Yeah. I mean, it's all right. I like it better than 18 degrees. So yeah. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I am too, man. It's gonna chill back down for the next few days, but I see Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s, pretty much nonstop, and low at 60s for night. So better get used to the days like we're having today, because it's coming.
And just a few more days. This is going to be the standard until July, and then it warms up.
Yeah. What'd you think of the race? If you want to call it a race, I mean, you know.
I thought it got kind of boring. Actually, I mean, nothing against Kyle. I like Kyle Larson just fine. But after the first 2 hours of watching him pretty much run everybody's pants off, it kind of got boring.
I totally agree, Ken. I mean, you know, back in the day, of course, racing ain't like it used to be back in the day. Of course, nothing is for that matter. But, you know, Bristol used to really be competitive. But nowadays, if you got a car and get up front pretty much at any track, I mean, you get in that clean air, man, you just walk away from everybody. It seems like every track's pretty much like that now, you know?
Well, my sense of I have not taken and preserved notes from every race. I can't speak with authority on this, but it seems to me that I've not seen one yesterday that was dominated quite so much by one driver as Bristol was yesterday. I don't think I've seen another one quite like that. Has there been?
If it has, Ken, I hadn't seen it. Not at Bristol. I mean, I don't care if it's Kyle Larson or Kyle Busch or whomever. I like a race to be a race where you have a lot of passion and lead changes and stuff going on like that. But I mean, yesterday, like you said, I think it was just boring too. You know, it wasn't a whole lot of competition for the guy. You know?
No, the only way he got behind yesterday was when, pit stops would get him behind every now and then. But and like when Blaney and the other guy, when they stayed out on that one pit stop and led
Uh-huh.
for a while, but we knew sooner or later he was going to have to pit. But that was a good strategy. I thought it was a good thing for him to try, because if there'd been a caution while they were out there, they could have won the race. So you had to try something. They certainly were not going to run down Kyle Larson.
No.
So they had to try something. Didn't work, but I don't blame them for trying.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Kyle's a good driver. Give him credit where credit's due. But yesterday I just thought, man, I'm glad I didn't go, because to me it just been a wasted trip, I think.
Well, yeah, he did kind of stink up the show.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with this Garcia thing now? The Supreme Court ruled the other night that, in my opinion, he's supposed to be brought back through what they said. But I mean, all 9 justices said that there was no due process given to him, and that it should have been. So, how do you think this is going to work out? I mean, Trump said today they're not going to do it.
I don't know how it's going to work out. The Supreme Court ruling, which happened since we've been on the air, so we never talked about that. The Supreme Court said that he was improperly deported, that he and everyone else is entitled to a court appearance, a chance to go to court and defend themselves before they are deported. So there's no ambiguity in that. That's what the court says has to happen. As far as he goes, I don't know if there is a way. I don't know if there is a way to get him back, because the court, what the court said indicates that the Trump administration, they said they have to facilitate his return. They didn't say they have to go get him. And I don't think, that being the case, that there's a way to bring him back. Now, the president of El Salvador said today that he doesn't intend to send him back. We, the taxpayers, are paying the president of El Salvador $6 million a year to keep those guys there. And it seems to me that if we said to the president of El Salvador, for $6 million, you ought to be willing to send one back if we ask you to, but I don't think we're going to ask him to.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. And, Ken, during Trump's first administration, he was always saying, well, where's my Roy Cohn at? The Department of Justice person, Well, I'll tell you what, if he ain't got in with Pam Bondi now, he never will. I mean, you stop and think about it. Yeah, they control the White House, and the Republicans control both houses of Congress, and that, that's consequences that comes with elections. But when you can control the courts, especially the Supreme Court, man, we're sitting in a dictatorship, are we not? If not, what's the difference?
Well, if you can control the Supreme Court, yes, you are a dictator. But I guess that comes back to what do you define controlling the Supreme Court? I think if Trump was controlling the Supreme Court, they would rule for him every time. But they don't rule for him every time.
No, that's true. But I mean, look at this Garcia case. I mean, they're just basically saying, well, yeah, you said this, but we're not going to do it. I mean, if that's not controlling, what is?
Well, we'll see what happens when it goes back, because it's going to go back at some point.
Yeah.
The court order still stands, and Garcia still has lawyers, and they're not going to stop as long as they think they have something else to argue, and they obviously now think they have something else to argue. So this will go to the court again, and we'll see what happens.
Well, again, I hope it don't happen. But if something was to happen to Garcia, or if he just somehow disappears and they can't find him, or he winds up dead, you know, that's not going to sit right with a lot of people in this country either. You know what I mean?
Well, no. I mean, the fact that he was deported mistakenly, and the Trump administration acknowledges that they were mistaken when they deported him. They don't deny that. They clearly acknowledge that he was mistakenly removed from the country. So he was, but their interpretation of what the court said, and I think they probably have the correct interpretation of what the court said, is that they don't have to take proactive steps to bring him back. And again, we'll see what happens next time.
Yep. All right, Ken. Thanks so much for taking my call, and I really enjoy your show.
Thanks for calling. Phone line is open. The number's up there. You can give us a call. You can email us at keneccleslive@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear from you either way, either by phone or by email. And speaking of email, that's the wrong thing. To get my emails, let's try this thing over here. Oh, have to wait for it to start up in Gameless. No, nobody's in a hurry. Nobody's in a hurry, I hope. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark Romadian.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
That's good. Where am I in the standings right now?
Okay, well, give me a second here, Mark, to find you. Number 6, sixth place. So.
Sixth place.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I want to take Kyle Larson for the next race.
All right, Mark from Mayadan has the 5, and it's in the book, Mark. Number 5.
Yeah, and I don't go ahead and tell Charles McDaniel, but don't forget the Masked Singer this Wednesday night.
Okay, well, I'm glad you reminded him. I'll bet he would have forgotten if you didn't remind him.
Yeah, and you know, if I move a Mayadan, I have to change my name, Mark, from wherever I move to.
Well, I didn't know you were going to move. When do you move?
Oh, it's just talk right now. I don't know if I'm going to or not.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, we'll look forward to what your new name will be.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks for calling, Mark. Good to hear from you. Phone line open at that number. Let's see. Let me scroll up to today on these emails. It's open. Ken, what do you think of the state of college athletics? Whoa. There's one. We'll get back to that one. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Just wondered how the race pool's been going for the last 2 weeks that you haven't been on the air.
You haven't seen us in 2 weeks?
Been 2 weeks since I seen you, and I called Charles, I think, the end of last week, and he said it'd been technical difficulties.
Okay. Well, you know, Leon, I did not realize that you had not been able to see us for 2 weeks. I'll tell you what we're going to do for you, since I haven't had a pick from you in 2 weeks. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and give you this is something somebody suggested earlier, and we're going to do that. I'm going to go back 2 weeks and then 2 weeks before that and give you whatever drivers you picked then. It may not be the ones you wanted, but at least it'll give you some points so you don't get way behind.
All right. Well, like I say, it hasn't been on Comcast up here in Ridgeway in the last 2 weeks.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I wish I'd known that. Well, I couldn't have done anything about it, but I'm sorry I didn't know it. Do you want to make your pick for Talladega?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kyle Busch.
All right. Leon takes the 8. Um, and Leon, I was wondering, because I didn't know we hadn't been on the air, I thought maybe you had just gotten tired of us and dropped out. Uh, so I had not figured up these substitute picks for you, but I'll do that tonight. So you'll have the same number of picks that everybody else has after I do that.
All right, that's fine.
And still a whole lot of races left here for you to make up ground. And I'm glad we're back on.
Yeah, I'd like to say you didn't come on here at about 15 after tonight.
All right. Well, I guess that's better than nothing, I guess. But Leon,
Yep, that's correct.
let me mention this while you're still on the phone. They have installed a new system, and today's the first day of using the new system. And it's supposed to be more reliable and better. And the reason we were late tonight, because they were explaining to me before we went on the air, is they were just finishing fine tuning the system. So I guess they got it done since we got on the air there. So I hope with this new system we won't be missing as many times as we've been in the past. That's what I hope for.
Well, I sure hope it ain't Brightspeed. You're gonna be missing a whole lot more.
Oh, Brightspeed. Well, I hear stories about Brightspeed.
Yeah,
Well,
I got some long ones to tell myself.
Well, it's not Brightspeed. I do know that much. So,
all right, Ken, you have a good evening.
Well, thank you, Leon. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling. So we were not on in Leon's part of the world at all for 2 weeks. Again, I hope the new system will prevent that kind of stuff from happening as we go along. What did that emailer ask me? What complicated question was that? Oh, I know. The question was, what do you think of the state of college athletics now at the power conference levels? Did you see where Tennessee quarterback skipped practice and demanded more money as he was getting paid $2.5 million? Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Ken, I hate calling back like I didn't call one time. What I was going to tell you was when you was talking to Mr. Nice Guy, it froze up down here in Draper. The picture did for about 10 seconds.
Oh, it did?
Couldn't hear what y'all, you were just froze. You couldn't hear what nobody was saying.
Did it unfreeze?
Yeah, yeah, it's unfreeze. I'm hearing you now good, but like I said, it was about 10 seconds.
Okay, and are you watching us on cable or over the air?
Yeah, I'm on cable.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, I'm on not Time One, but Spectrum.
On Spectrum.
Okay, I'll see you.
Well, thanks.
Bye.
Thanks for calling. The new system has bugs in it. They'll figure it out. Emailer's talking about the Tennessee quarterback who skipped practice and demanded more money. He was getting paid $2.4 million, and he wants $4 million. Now, we're not talking about the NFL here, folks. This is college football. He wants $4 million. Apparently, Bill Belichick is going to pay him that much or enough to get him to transfer to Chapel Hill. I think this is ridiculous and might as well be called pro sports. I wonder if these so-called student athletes ever attend class at any of these schools. I think people need to stop attending these games and donating all of this money for so-called college athletes. Well, it is pro sports, isn't it? Duke, I don't know how many people heard this. This story came out several months ago. Duke University is paying, I can't remember the quarterback's name. The quarterback played at Tulane as a freshman, and Duke decided they'd like to have him. So Duke is paying this quarterback not $4 million, not $6 million. According to published reports, Duke is paying this kid $8 million to transfer from Tulane to Duke to play football next year. And this is Duke. I mean, this is a place where football has not been the be all and end all for a very long time. But they're paying a quarterback $8 million to transfer from Tulane. Um, UNC, Carolina lost a basketball recruit that they were expecting to get this past recruiting season because Brigham Young University offered him $5 million to come to Brigham Young, and apparently, for whatever reason, Carolina couldn't come up with $5 million to match that offer. So A.J. DeBansa went to Brigham Young for $5 million. But that is how it is now. Of course, the college basketball transfer portal is active right now. And one of the things you read in stories about these kids who decide to transfer from one school to another, sometimes they have a lot of different reasons, but sometimes the reason is money. And in many cases, they acknowledge that somebody else offered them more money. So off they go. So what do I think of that? I think two things. The first thing I think, and I've said this before, is I always thought the players should have gotten something, because the colleges and the boosters and the television networks and the cable companies all making money hand over fist on college sports. So I've always felt that the players should get something. If everybody's making money except the players, then they ought to get something. And I've said that many times, and I still believe that. But this is not what I had in mind when I said that. I did not imagine that the players getting something meant $4 million, $5 million, $8 million. That's not what I foresaw. But that's what we got. I think if it was up to me, if I was king of the world, here's one of these things that would happen. If I was king of the world, all this would move over to professional minor league sports. The NFL would have a minor league system where they would sign players and pay them to play minor league football. And when they got to the point they're ready to come to the NFL, bring them up. But I don't think the colleges should serve as a minor league for the NFL or a minor league for the NBA. Now, the NBA, to its credit, and I think this is a good idea, the NBA has gone ahead and established this thing called the G League, where guys can go and get paid to play. If they're not ready for the NBA yet, they play in the G League a year or 2 years or whatever, and when they're ready, they move up. And if it becomes obvious they're never going to be ready, then they go and do something else for a living. But the G League isn't paying nearly as much money as college basketball. Nowhere close to it. But that's what ought to happen. The NFL and the NBA should do what Major League Baseball has done, come up with the money to establish actual minor leagues for themselves and not depend on colleges and universities to do that. And if Duke wants to have a basketball team and Carolina wants to have a basketball team, and I'm sure they do, then let them create their teams from among the players who do not go, who don't get drafted into the NBA minor league or the NFL minor league. That means the real big, super talented players wouldn't play in college anymore. But do you really care? There'd still be plenty of good ball players for college basketball and football, and teams would be just as enthusiastic about supporting their school, even with players who are not quite at the absolute superstar level, still be good players. So yeah, that's what I'd do. I'm not king of the world. And as far as I know, I don't have any much chance of ever being king of the world. So that is just not going to happen, because right now the colleges are making a lot of money. Even though they're paying a lot of money, they're also making a ton of money out of this, and they're not likely to let it go. Mr. Draper takes William Byron for Talladega. Let me write that down. Mr. Draper, William Byron, going for Talladega. And what has he sent me? He sent me a link. See if I can get this to open up. Driveraverages.com. Oh, this is interesting. All right, I'm not going to start opening this up and exploring it now, because I still have a show to finish. But thank you. Thanks a lot for sending me that. That's going to be really interesting. Hi, Ken. Mr. Leaksville here. Could you email me the current standings after Bristol? I will make my Talladega pick next week. I will do that, Mr. Leaksville. As I say that, I remember I said I was going to do that last year, but I said I was going to do that last week, and I forgot. Let me write this where I'll see it. I'll remember this week. I will. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello?
Hello. Yes. I was talking about the basketball players. They do get something. They get a college education. I got a friend who, his son got a full scholarship and lost it I think his senior year. Mm-hmm. And he's paying like $20,000. Yeah, when he finished up, he owed him like $20,000, and he's been paying that loan off for 3 years. And these guys, they get a free ride, and I don't think the games are good as they are. But the idea about the king of the world idea didn't sound too bad. Anyway, I enjoy your show, and I'll listen. I'll continue to listen. You come up with some good answers to the problems today. So it's always good to hear your talk.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your call. And he's right. Let's not lose sight of the cost of a college education. And that free scholarship, depending on where the school is, that scholarship is worth a whole lot of money. It is, no doubt about it. I've always thought and said that in addition to the scholarship, I thought the players ought to get some money as well. And that was the idea behind the whole NIL thing, and we don't need to go through that again. But obviously a step was taken to get players some money. And when I say some money, again, I wasn't thinking $8 million. I was thinking, enough to rent a nice apartment somewhere. But anyway, yeah, the scholarships certainly are valuable. But where it has gone now, it's just crazy. Who was the Virginia coach? Tony Bennett, the basketball coach at Virginia, had a lifetime contract at UVA, and many of you may remember last fall, just shortly before the start of the basketball season, he quit. He walked out on a lifetime contract. He said, this sport now is not what I signed up for, and I can't do it anymore. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello.
Hello, Ken. How are you this evening?
I'm fine. How are you?
Man, it's good to see you back again. We were worried about you. Me and my daughter have been talking. I said, I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
Well, I've been here, but I'm sorry. I mean, I hope it's all fixed now.
Yeah, I do too, Ken. Miss talking to you. I tell you, you better than that show to come on during the day than during the morning right there. We enjoy talking to you.
Well, yeah. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm kicking, but not as high as I used to, but I'm still kicking.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if any of us kick as high as we used to. I know
That's true, kid. Yeah, I just called. I just got in the house and I just turned and seen that you was on, and I said, well, let me call him and tell him that we missed him. And I did have a lot to talk about, but right now I just came in the house and I just don't know what I'm gonna talk about right now. But anyway, I'll get with you. Let's see tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I'll with you tomorrow and start on fresh.
I think we'll be here tomorrow. So we'll talk then.
Okay, Ken. Appreciate you. Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. Yeah, we've been missing. I didn't know I was missing, but I have been. Sorry. Let's see. Emailer says, can you email me a text number if I need to text, like for a loan? Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a special number that I have people text to borrow money. I'll send you the other number. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening to you, Ken.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, thank you, sir. I hope you are.
I am, thanks.
Good. I know you're running out of time. I waited just in case somebody else filled in this blank for you. Eggs will keep 3 to 5 weeks in your refrigerator.
All right, early bird, write it down. 3 to 5 weeks. Eggs will keep in the refrigerator. And if they go bad, it's pretty obvious when they go bad, isn't it?
Exactly. And beyond that, you can always extend their goodbye date by a couple of weeks past their sell-by date.
All right, because yeah, they're very aggressive with those sell-by dates.
Right, but the Department of Agriculture says 3 to 5 weeks from the time you first refrigerate them.
All right, now what about putting them in water? If they're bad, do they float? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know. I didn't explore that at all, and I know that there's something to that, but I really don't know. I think the closest that I can come to is when I put old eggs in a pan. You know, if you're making boiled eggs,
right?
And you put them in there, and then you fill the water, and you put old eggs will stand on their end while fresher eggs will lay on their side. But
in
beyond
water.
that, I don't.
In water.
Yeah, beyond that, and when you put them in the water and put them in the pan to put it on the stove,
the old
an
ones
older
will
egg
stand on end.
Will stand on end, and a fresher egg will lay on its side.
Wow. But does that mean the old egg is necessarily spoiled, though?
No, not at all. It simply means gas is transferred to that end of the shell.
Okay.
But yeah.
3 to 5 weeks, then.
3 to 5 weeks from the time you first put them in your refrigerator.
And if you crack a bad one, you'll know.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Have a good evening, Ken.
Thanks for calling. All right, early bird. There it is, 3 to 5 weeks. And the caller also verifies what I was thinking, and that is if you crack open a bad egg, it'll tell you. it will tell you right away. Hey, don't eat me, man. I'm bad. You'll know. Emailer says, Ken, what about that artificial intelligence thing? Where is it? Where is it in the NASCAR standings? That would be ChatGPT. Okay, let me look here on the list. Chat is in 13th place right now. Now, Chat finished, what did Chat finish? I think 5th last time. But right now, ChatGPT is running 13th in our NASCAR contest with 92 points. He did pick a winner yesterday. He did pick Kyle Larson yesterday, so that helped him out, helped it out. I never know I never know what pronouns to use with artificial intelligence. It helped he, she, it out yesterday with the Kyle Larson pick, but still in 13th place. So far, for Talladega, Nice Guy has the 11. Mr. Draper has the 24. Mark has the 5. Charles from Danville has the 22. And Leon has the 8. So that's what we got so far. And I will remember, I will remember to email out those standings this time. The old watch says we do have time to read one more email or maybe take one more phone call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken. How you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
All right. Look, did I make up in the ground?
Well, let's see. You made up some. You're 15th, so you're not 17th anymore. So you made up
how many points am I behind the first place?
You got 56 points, so you're 59 points behind right now, but it's a long way to go.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I could just pick up about 3 or 4 each week, and all, and that will be fine.
You'll get there. Plus, even if you don't catch up, you can always sit around and tell people about your wire-to-wire segment.
Wire-to-wire record, yeah. That might stand for a little while, cause we keep adding, and another thing, we keep adding people to the road, and that'll help protect my record.
Well, no matter what else happens, you always got that to talk about.
Ken, now, let me ask you one quick question here while we got time. All right. These people say they can't get that guy back from El Salvador. Okay? Now, let me tell you what. We can retrieve people from the moon in all this great country, but we can't get a guy back from El Salvador. And what you think about that? And so the president of El Salvador up here today, and he stated that he can't smuggle the guy in.
Well, he doesn't have to smuggle him.
No, you know the president will give him permission to bring the guy in. That's the biggest bunch of crop you ever seen. And they admitted that it was a mistake for them to send him there, and the Supreme Court gave them their opinion about bringing them back. But and say so that shows that we don't have much humanity for an innocent person.
And we are out of time. I'm sorry, we're out of time.
Okay. All right, Ken. So you take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks. That's all we have time for tonight. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Eccles.